population in Africa has been shrinking steadily, probably for over a century, because the human population has grown so much over that period of time. And also, as there's been clearing of a lot of land to feed that population, a lot of natural habitat has been plowed up to grow maize, which they call in Africa, which we call corn in the US, wheat, and other staple crops, pineapples, cotton. And so a lot of habitat's just been lost to meet the needs of the human population. And then what we see now are areas where the remaining habitat that has not been converted to farmland is occupied by pastoralist people. These are people like the Maasai and others whose livelihoods depend on livestock. So these areas are too dry to grow crops, but you can still turn grass into food by way of eating the goats and the sheep and the cows. But in those areas, the people themselves have lost a lot of their original habitat. Now they're scrunched up against the protected areas that have the wildlife. And so people are trying to earn a living by raising their livestock. At the same time that lions now are losing some of their prey because the grass has been eaten by the cows. And so the lions now are trying more and more to eat livestock themselves. And so this leads to conflict, and the lions are either speared or shot with bows and arrows or even poisoned in retaliation. And so if you look across all of Africa, the first place that lost its lions actually was South Africa, because you had so much European settlement down there. The land was very good for agriculture, and it was just plowed. And lions were more or less went extinct in South Africa, except for marginal populations along their borders with Botswana on one side and Mozambique on the other. And then next was West Africa. And so West Africa has a very dense human population. Much of West Africa is too rainy to support lions. There aren't that many patches, what we would call savanna, that lions like to occupy mostly. And so again, the human pressures there were very intense. And there's very few lions left in West Africa, maybe 250 across that whole area from Senegal all the way to Congo. But in East Africa, the human population has only reached that level. And the level of, well, climate change too is actually playing a role in East Africa, drying out these rangelands so that now people are coming ever closer into